Good morning, Eastern Oregon, and welcome to this June 8th version of AM Live on EOA, your connection to Eastern Oregon. And we're also on Roku, don't ever forget. So, how are you, man?
First Friday.
First Friday.
We're almost there.
Yeah, it is like it's trying to rain a little bit out there.
It's muggy.
What's that?
It's muggy out there.
It was humid.
When I walked outside, I expected it to be like kind of warm, and I got out there, I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, and it was, I mean, I guess it was supposed to thunder a little bit or rain toward the end of the day yesterday, and but I never really.
Probably
so
be
the air
better
was
if we
pretty
get
loaded.
it now rather than when it gets all dried out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Get it out of the way.
Yeah, so the air was pretty loaded with moisture this morning and stuff. So here in just a little bit, we're going to have LeGrand Mayor Justin Rock is going to be with us right here on the show. You want to do sports?
Let's do it. I got the GOL all conference for LeGrand. It took me a long time to get it. Usually I get an email from, I'll keep the names to myself. But
yeah.
You dropped the ball this time, so listen, I don't know what happened. First team pitcher, Jay Scow. That's no big surprise. He was first team pitcher last year, All-State. He'll end up being All-State as well when that comes out. First team infielder, Logan Williams. Outfielders, Cole Schaefer and Jared Armstrong, first teamers. First team utility, Sam Chachis. Second team catcher, Noah McElmoyle. And second team utility, Carter Peasley. And Carter Peasley is the only underclassman, the only junior on the list. So that's what I'm saying. Like last year, almost the whole list was juniors.
Right.
Outside of Devin and Cole.
Uh-huh.
This year, there's one.
Huh.
And I don't know. I think the GOL needs to do away with honorable mention because there's only 4 teams, for crying out loud. I mean, if you have first team, second team, honorable mention, that means 3 kids at every position you know what I mean? And there's only 4 teams.
Right.
When I was in high school, and I've said this before, we were in the Intermountain Conference 4A, which was the highest level in Oregon. LeGrand was lucky to get 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We had 7 teams in our conference, and to get now, it's like Oprah giving out stuff on the Oprah show. You get it all conference.
If you have 4 teams, and you have 4 starters in each of those teams.
And so how many players is that? Nine players play at a time times that's 36.
Uh-huh.
If you have 3 all conference teams, which is 2 pitchers and a utility, so that's 11. 11 times 3 is 33.
Right.
33 out of the 36 kids are all conference. And I'm not saying that people on LeGrand didn't deserve it by any means, but at the same time, it doesn't. In my eyes, it doesn't hold the same weight as it did 20 years ago because it's basically, like we got at the end, they're just filling it up.
Yeah.
Anyways, EOU had the Mounting Awards on Tuesday night. We saw a national champion shot putter Maggie Ledbetter win Female Athlete of the Year, and we saw the CCC Player of the Year men's basketball Philip Malater win Male Athlete of the Year. Of course, the volleyball team got Coaching Staff of the Year and Team of the Year after their historic run to the Final Four, and the first CCC team ever to be ranked number 1 in the country, which was a heck of a year.
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy. And we're returning a lot of, not all the key parts. We're losing Cambry. We're losing Sade. We're losing Jesse. We're losing some players that played a lot, but we're returning people like Kara. Actually, no, Sade's coming back. We're losing Presley. Sade graduated and took her senior. She was leaving, and then now she's coming back. So we'll have her as an all-conference coming back. Kara Clayton as an all-first teamer coming back. So we're still going to be good. I mean, they're going to compete.
Good.
They are. They're going to. And I was talking with Kaki last week about where she thought they might start the season ranked. And she wouldn't say, but I say top 5. I think we'll start in the top 5. We should. Yeah. That's it for sports.
All righty. Well, cool. Well, let's just take a look outside real quick here. It's kind of a little.
Can't really tell it's
No,
muggy.
the street was a little wet outside my house in Island City, but it's supposed to be rainy up to 77. So it could be muggy today.
It's gonna be muggy. 57%
Yeah.
humidity.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's cloudy the next few days here. Rainy tomorrow too. What's going on this weekend? Oh yeah, Eastern Oregon Livestock Show is this weekend. We're going to try and stream the Eastern Oregon Livestock Parade, which is tomorrow afternoon at 2. So that'll be something a little bit new for us, kind of in our support for the Eastern Oregon Livestock Show. And then this whole weekend is their events, Friday and Saturday night. So anyhow, be sure and check that out. Tune into that. All righty. And I also, if I can find the graphic, just want to mention that the show is brought to you this morning by Valley Insurance, who they have relocated their store down right on Adams Avenue in the old Umpqua Bank building. I think they're still trying to get their sign up. Anyhow, be sure and check them out. Joel and Matt are the owners and great supporters of the community. Really appreciate what it is that they do for us here. All righty. Well, Justin Rock, LeGrand Mayor, is going to be with us, and just right after this. All right, we're back with LeGrand Mayor Justin Rock. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you, Brent?
Good. So how many months has it been now that you've been in this mayor position?
8? No,
5
that
and
would be
some
right.
change.
We're 6.
Yeah.
January 1st, or 1st of January.
5 and
so
some change.
Yeah.
5 in a week.
Half a year.
half a
Yeah.
year. There we go. That's better.
Yeah. Well, how's it going?
It's been going really well.
Yeah.
I think as a city, we're doing well. We're ahead of schedule with everything. We got a lot of things accomplished this year. And so I think everything's going really good.
And you just came through a budget season, right?
We did. Yep.
And maybe tell people what is involved. Unless they know, they wouldn't know.
Correct. And, the budget's a big thing is, all the directors have to come up with what they need and what they need to accomplish to keep tasks at hand for the citizens. And so, of course, we would love to give everybody the money they need, but there's not enough money for that. And so then, of course, the city manager goes over with that, prepares the budget, and then they have a 2-night meeting going over the whole budget. And then there is council and budget committee members. They're all in a big committee, and they go through, and we decide yes or no what we can do.
So when you guys prepare for that, I know the binder is about a 4-inch binder.
It's a lot of paperwork.
And you get that ahead of time, so you can kind of look through it and so on and so forth. Is there anything that you can't see? You know what I mean?
Nope.
So everything
is out. Everything is on the web page. Everything is very transparent. There is nothing.
Yeah. And but it's complex.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah. And I've been streaming and recording city council meetings and budget meetings, I think probably for over 10 years now.
Right.
And it's just a complex process. It
well,
really
the
is.
other thing too is the city budget, not all dollars can be used for everything.
Right. Okay.
You get certain money for, let's say, for roads. You know, that money can only be used on finished roads. It cannot be on a road without a curb or sidewalk.
Okay.
And so that's where it makes it kind of difficult to go through and fix different things, because that money can only go to certain ways.
And you say like money for roads. So like the state gives the city money to improve their roads, but that money cannot be applied to a junk road.
No, that one's different.
No? Okay.
No,
I mean,
it's more of the
and junk road is not, yeah.
It's
We'll
more
talk
of-
about that in a minute more.
there's certain funds that we do receive for roads that can only go to finished roads, and so that makes it, you know, kind of difficult,
Right.
you know, because then those roads can only be fixed when we do get money from the state.
Okay. So, and one of the thing, I mean, roads have been in the conversation a ton.
We're going to fix a lot of roads this year.
Right. And part of that is because the ARPA funds that came through, which was
$3 million.
$3 million, and all of that except $200,000 was essentially going to go to
Roads.
fixing roads.
Yes.
Okay. But I asked Kyle, I said, like, okay, so what percentage of roads does that actually fix? You know, because that's kind of number. And I think he guessed at 40% or
Yeah.
something like that, you know. So I mean, fixing roads are
expensive.
very, very expensive.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, all infrastructure is. I mean, so them digging up the main water line that's on Second and then replacing all. I mean, anytime they dig down into a street, it's just spendy.
You know, and the one good thing is Kyle has done really, who is the director of Public Works.
Mhm.
He's done really well of when they do go in to fix the road, they fix it right. They go and do the water, they do the sewers, they do everything while that road's torn up, so that way they don't have to go back in there and tear it back up again.
Right. And that was, I mean, and that's something that's a little different than what Norm Paulus did.
Correct.
I mean, not to throw any shade on
No,
Norm, but
no.
but the point is that if you have a road that was not built correctly to begin with, which there's a lot of our roads in streets in LeGrand, they didn't have the correct foundation, because to do a road right, you've got to excavate a ton of material. I mean, tons in the literal sense, but I mean, it's like 18 inches of material, and then you fill that back in and you pack that and so on and so forth. Well, so then if let's say a road was not built correctly, and with all of that prep work, and then it's paved, well then you come in later and you put another pavement over the top of it, that pavement does not last as long because the foundation was not built correctly.
See, and I think the big problem with our city is when they go in to fix utilities.
Uh-huh.
You know, because they go in and fix utilities, and then of course you're disturbing the road, you're cutting it up, you're digging it up, and then of course they go back and try to patch it, but they can't do it the right way, which is redoing the whole road.
Right.
And so by the way he's doing it of fixing the sewer and water, and you know, different utilities going through there, we're not going to have the problems we do now with some of the streets.
Yeah. So,
and I think it's a great thing.
So the philosophy, I mean, so Kyle and the Public Works Department, their approach is to particularly some of these high traffic roads, to redo them completely.
See, and that's, well, what the ARPA fund is more of I think a lot of those roads are just overlays.
Right.
They're not going to be dug up and fixed. You know, what they've been doing though is they've been picking, you know, main roads, and when they do fix them, they are fixing them the correct way.
Right. But there is a perception, and I think it's a reality, is that our roads are worse than what they were 10 years ago. And part of that is because more of that money is being spent. The money that has been to kind of do the patching along the way is being spent to redo the roads from the ground up that really need to be done.
Correct.
Which means that
over time we're going to be in better shape than if we were just to go over and patch and patch.
Right. And that's, I mean, it's better stewardship. It's better spending of money, but at the same time, it's going to be a little painful. So the ARPA funds will really help.
They will.
I mean, it'll help that patching. It'll help kind of do a stopgap. But okay, well, anyhow, it's
roads. Roads is one of those crazy things. It always takes all the conversations up.
Yeah. Well,
but we all drive on them. We all, you know, you hit that pothole, you're like, oh, this is horrible.
Right. Yeah. And you kind of like, well, if you're not informed, then it's like, well, where's that tax money going, for crying out loud? But, you know, so
I just cuss at the next city vehicle that I see
do you?
because in between my house and my parents' house, it's Jefferson, you know, and you all the way down to the ballpark,
Mhm.
and that. Dude, there's some good ones in there.
You come drive in front of my
There's
house.
some real. Oh, I've been in front of your house. I know exactly where you live. Yeah,
But you know,
I'm not going to put it out there.
but Jefferson particularly is an example of one of those. I mean, if you look at the parts of that road that's rough, a lot of it is, oh, they did road work, they did utility work.
Right.
I mean, you can see this path of where they cut, and then they came back in and refilled it, and that has become just awful.
Correct.
You know? So
Correct.
There's
Well-
one on Jefferson. If you're not on your A game,
it'll get you.
Oh yeah, yeah. And it's
Well-
on. It's on the westbound Jefferson, like in between Second and going down towards the west side of town.
Yeah.
And if you aren't on your A game, you're getting lit.
But
so,
here's-
so I don't know their exact schedule, but I know they got coal mix coming out. So that's the material they use to patch.
to fill.
So I know here shortly a lot of these potholes are going to be repaired. I'm not going to guarantee anything because that's not my job.
Right.
But I know they're out there really trying to start working on that. And plus they have a lot on their plate.
Of course.
And so
Well, and that is the deal. When you finally you see all of those managers of those areas, Parks and Rec, Fire Department, Police, who am I forgetting? And Public Works,
library.
swimming, but swimming is under Parks and Rec.
Correct.
So, but all of those folks, their whole job is to manage their budget. Their
Correct.
whole job, but to manage their area, and it requires money. And a lot of that is just maintaining what it is that the services that they already got going. And so then, and at the end, the city has to run, you can't go over budget.
No.
You have to run a zero budget. I mean, at the end of the year, you can't spend more money than what you have.
No, you won't be around.
Right. And so not everybody always gets what it is that they want.
No, but they worked really well together, I think, as a whole to try to do the best they can so everybody can at least get what they need to do the services they need to accomplish. You know, the good thing is I mean, we have a couple more firefighters this year.
Yeah.
We went through and the negotiations of the labor, that's almost to an end. We're agreeing or ratifying the contracts last night. And so that's another good thing is we're trying to maintain and keep the experience here, in our staff. You got to take care of your employees because they just won't be here if you don't.
Right. And that's what all of these things are tools for. I mean, when you think in terms of like emergency service, police and firefighters and whatever the case might be, when they go out and get in a vehicle, it's got to start and it's got to work every time. It's got to go, or whatever that equipment is that they have.
Their equipment is very important, but the men and women that run the equipment is the most important because without them, we can't do what we need to
but
do.
if they don't have the tools that they need,
Correct.
they're not going to stick around. I
Correct.
mean, and so it becomes having them have the equipment and tools that they need is a very big part of them feeling like they can do their job well.
Yes. I agree.
So, okay. Well, is there anything that you've learned? I mean, I'm sure there is over the last 6 months, but I mean, is there something that surprised you? Like, wow.
Most people think
I
the
did
mayor
not
doesn't
know.
do very much.
What's that?
I said most people think the mayor doesn't do very much. I mean, we truly have no more power than any other counselor because there's only one vote per person.
Right.
But in the same sense, there is a lot to being mayor.
Yeah.
There is a lot of events. I have tried to be one of those mayors that's in the community. I go to a lot of events and try to represent the city, the citizens by being present, and going out and being. I also try to be very where anybody can come up to me, approach and talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes a very busy time. I've had a lot of neat, different ones. One of my favorite ones, I got to go up to the football field, go out on the field and flip a coin, at the beginning. And that was amazing to me because I played football there.
Yeah.
This last weekend, I got to go up into the National Guard and watch the change of command which was a neat thing. Really good people. I mean, they were very welcoming to me because I was just going to be the guy sitting in the back corner. And next thing I know, I have a chair with my name on it and, the honorable mayor. And I'm like, I have,
wow.
generals and colonels. These men I have way more respect than, for their job than who I am.
Yeah.
I'm just a person that represents people.
Cool. So Rockin' Sons is big supporter of us. We really appreciate what it is that you do. So, but that leads to one of the questions of like, so how has this worked with work?
Busy.
How has being mayor worked with the pay job?
The good thing is my wife is very supportive. She's helped me, kind of keep track and keep me straight.
Yeah.
She helps my schedule, things like that. And, there's days it's tough. When I work anywhere from 11 to 13 hours a day, and then I have to go through and read all that, and also want to spend time with my son and my wife. And but it's a balancing act, and I do give up some things that I would like to go do. But like I said, my family is very supportive, and without them, I cannot do what I do.
And Kayla was the city recorder.
She was,
and so she gets the inside of the guts.
Oh, yeah.
Too. So is there any time when she's like, Justin, you do know this thing. I mean, since she can kind of read the city tea leaves, I mean, is there any time that she reminds you about stuff?
She is very good at helping me prepare for my meeting. Because she knows.
She's seen a bunch of them.
Oh, she has.
Yeah.
She was the one to help put all that stuff together. And so it's very helpful that your wife is knowledgeable and very intelligent woman to help you out with things like that.
Yeah.
So I'm very fortunate.
No.
Boy, you're just stacking up the brownie points right now.
Well, and
maybe a little.
and I feel the same way about my wife. I mean, she keeps the wheels going.
Yes.
And I joke because when there's people in the office and she works a full-time job and then she comes at the end of the day. And when I hear that back door open about a little after 5, I say, okay, everybody get to work. The boss is here, So,
the funny thing is there is no successful person on their own. You need people to help you.
Yeah.
For me, as of course, is my wife and my family. My employees are amazing, because if I'm not there, I have to have 1 or 2 or 3 of them. They step up and they help and make sure things get done. Without having the proper people in the right place, I would not be able to do what I do.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, thankful to them, it allows me to be the mayor, to be a business owner, and of course, be a father that I love. Love being a dad. That's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
And so, if it wasn't for the people in my life, I would not be able to do what I do.
Yeah. So your son's name is Riker.
It is Riker Rock.
Riker Rock. I want to hear a recording of him when he first starts talking. What's your name? Riker Rock.
He's not quite there yet. Not quite there yet.
That'll be really. So where did the name Riker come from?
It took a huge list. My wife came to me over and over and over again. And I'm just like, no, just didn't sound right. And then one day she's like, how about Riker Boyd Rock? Because myself and my father, our middle names are Boyd. And I heard that Riker Boyd Rock, and I'm like, that's perfect.
Huh.
It's very fitting because he's a very much a very, I want to say, ball of energy. There we go. Never stops from when he wakes up to when he goes to bed, but it's just funner than ever.
So that's where JB comes from.
Correct.
Justin Boyd.
Yes.
Yeah. So who gave you that?
Oh, the bad part is my parents love to name all of their sons Jays because I'm Justin. Jason is the middle one and Josh is the lower one.
Yeah.
And so when mom would get mad, she'd just start going through all the names. So it was probably the easiest just go by initials versus full names.
Oh, that's funny.
Mine stuck. The other two, they actually went by their full names, and I went by my initials most of my life.
Yeah. So when somebody comes in and says, yeah, it's JB here, then there's some sense of like, oh, he does.
They've known me for a while.
They've known him. Yeah.
Yes.
So
it's kind of fun too, is because it also, when I get salesmen calling, I'm like, no, Justin's not here. This is JB. How can I help you? So I'm 2 people. I'm
JB's in the back.
Yeah.
I'm one of the workers. I'm JB. How you doing?
Yeah.
But probably people know how I am and how I speak, because I always try to be very polite and very respectful. And so if they hear both of me, they're probably gonna know it's me. I always call everybody sir, ma'am. You know, like I said, I try to stay very respectful with everybody I speak with.
Well, cool. So anything, I mean, you've just gone through the budget season. Is there anything going on in the city that's like fresh and exciting to you? I mean, that it's like, wow, that's
Right at the
unique.
moment, not really.
Yeah.
You know, the first half of the year is just crazy. I mean, we have work sessions, we have meetings, all that. And the good part is, you know, the counselors have been working hard along with staff. We get a little bit of a break. I think they said the first part of July is going to be our next meeting.
Right.
So we get a little breather, which I think everybody needs. Plus, it's, you know, it's nice out. People don't want to be sitting in a meeting. They want to go out with their family and enjoy things. So I think it's great for everybody to get a little bit of a break.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll start, I think, the end of the year. I mean, we have quite a few work sessions, but not too bad.
Cool.
Not every Monday.
You know, it seems like the city staff, the heads of the department, and you'll have to help me. Kyle Carpenter is Public Works. I'll let you go. Am I putting you on the spot to go through?
Oh,
yeah.
no.
So
you got Kyle Carpenter as Public Works. You got Gary Bell as the police chief. We have Chief Cornford as the fire chief. And then we have Stu Spence as the director for Parks and Rec. Terry, I can't remember Terry's last name from the library.
I don't recall.
But we have the library, and then we have Mike Boquest as the planner.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. And
Who
finance.
I probably lean
Is Heather
yes.
is Heather okay?
Yes, Heather is the finance.
So
and I am not even going to try to announce her last name.
it seems like there's kind of, I mean, I would imagine all of those people and Robert are at the same table with staff. There seems to be kind of some cool camaraderie between them.
They all work together very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I was at Stu was at a meeting the other day that he was talking about what was going on with Parks Department. He goes, yeah, no, we're not like Public Works, you know. I mean, so he was throwing shade on Kyle.
I think they like harassing each other a little bit, but in a very good way.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so that's fun.
It's good.
That just makes for a good feeling.
No, you have to have the comedy where everybody's coming together. You know, that's a big thing. You know, if you can't work together, things are not going to get done.
Yeah.
And I think every one of our directors do a great job.
Yeah. So if you're, by the way, out there, if you're out there and you're watching and you have a question that you want to ask Justin, put it in the comments. What I don't want you to do is to comment to me later and complain about something that Justin said when you didn't have the courage. That's not really the word I want to use. The courage to actually put the question in the comments. So speak now or shut up.
The balls.
Yeah. 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 I get so exhausted. We've got some people that kind of chip around the edge and and don't have the courage to just step up and ask the question. So and that kind of leads me to my question. So I know now that, I mean, and I know from viewing it from a long time that it's complex, but you've got a lot of people that have access to those binders.
Correct.
I mean, it's
actually, like I said, it's on the website.
Right.
Everybody
It's
can look
public
at.
knowledge, isn't
Yeah,
it?
right. Yes, it is.
So I mean, so if people want to have input, or if they have a question, I mean, what is your experience in the sense now? I mean, over the period of time, I've ran into people because I've watched time and again a new council member or somebody, they come on to the budget hearing committee with an axe to grind. It's like, yeah, they're hiding money somewhere, or there's something inappropriate going on, and after they've done that meeting a couple of times, they're like, I'm exhausted. This is like, you know. And then I've seen people that are a little bit conspiracy ridden who there's no amount of convincing. So, but I guess what is your experience in watching people that legitimately have questions? They're listeners, they're learners, you know, are they able to come away with their questions answered?
I think most people do. I truly do. You know, there's some they'll just never believe what you tell them. But, you know, for the most part, everybody that comes up, the good part about all of our meetings, there is a point where the public comment is.
Right.
Where if you have a question or you have a statement, you have the opportunity to come and stand in front of the committee and state anything you want. You know, I mean, that is why we have that, is for people to come and ask questions. You know, if you do not like something we're doing, that is the time to come up and address the council or the committee.
Yeah.
You know, that's why we have those. So everybody has a moment to speak their mind, and actually, if they have an issue, to bring it to the council. Because there might be something that we don't know or we don't see that we can't address if we don't know there's a problem.
Yeah. All righty. Well, what do you do for fun? I mean,
Go to meeting. No. Actually, I do a little golfing.
Okay.
I've been golfing twice this year, which is, that's kind of amazing for me, because last year I think I went once.
Do you have any vacations planned or anything?
Unfortunately, this year, no, I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe next year.
Yeah.
We're thinking Disneyland for the little guy here.
I was going to say, how old is Wrecker?
He's going to be 3 in October.
Oh.
Wait, I would recommend waiting a little
Really?
bit longer. Yeah. I took all 3 of my kids when they've been twice. We took them the first time when my youngest was about 4, because it was Kyron's 8th birthday. So 6'4". She was about 4, and she missed out on a lot.
Oh, really?
Just because of size.
Yeah.
I mean, the other 2 kids, you know what I mean? But you're only taking 1 kid, so it might be a little different. But
mine's the size of a 5-year-old already, and he's not even 3. So
yeah, but they're still, I would wait. I mean, unless you want to go back and back and back.
No, I'm good.
Dude, it's taxing. 3 days at Disneyland is like 8 days of real life, man.
No, I'm good.
crazy.
One time, maybe 2, but
Yeah.
so we'll wait a little bit.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, things like that. Maybe go to the coast with my family.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Take my wife and my son and go away and get a few days away from the craziness.
Yeah.
Wait till it gets hot, so then you can go over there and it's like 70, and you're just like, oh, it's so nice.
That would be
So
nice.
nice.
Well, the bad part is I'm not doing truck tires when it's not nice and hot. Builds character is what I tell everybody.
Is that what you do? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, talk about your business for a minute. Talk about what you do, and
You know,
how's it
we do a lot. Of course, we're auto repair. We have tow trucks. We do tires. We do a lot of big truck tires, because we are actually a very small, but we're a Goodyear dealer. And so we do all the truck tires for Goodyear in this area, which is LeGrand, a little bit of Baker, and a little bit of Pendleton. So we go a lot of places, which most people don't even know we do that.
so, and that works because there are trucks out there that have a contract with Goodyear.
Mhm.
Is that how that works?
That is.
And that contract says,
We need a tire. You go do it now.
we're going to take care of your tire,
Yes.
whatever it might be. And then Goodyear looks for people to work on their behalf on
Correct.
their tires.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm one of probably the smallest shops that do it,
Yeah.
but I do very well for them. You know, we sell a lot of tires, but we always try to give the best price the first time. I don't believe in gimmicks. I don't try to sell. I'll sell you 3 tires and give you 1 free.
Yeah.
No, I don't
Yeah.
believe in that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm straight up front. I give you my best price first time you walk through the door. You know, I try to be very, well, I should tell I'm mayor. I spend a lot of time in the community. You know, whatever I get from my business, I try to put back into the community.
Yeah.
You know, I spend a lot of my money local. Everything, of course, I can't buy everything from, you know, local with what I do, but I mean, majority of anything I can will come from our community. And I think that's very crucial that we, you know, we're helping out other local businesses. As we spoke a little bit earlier in this morning was, you know, the e-commerce it's a good thing, but a bad thing too.
Yeah.
Because it's destroying our small
Right, yeah.
businesses. Because people buy things online when, you know, if they could have helped and supported that person that's supporting your baseball team, supporting your community for rodeos, things like that, you know, those are the people you want to be helping.
Because that life makes a huge amount of difference in the local economy.
Correct.
You know?
It does.
Yeah.
You know, small business is the backbone of our local economy.
And it's funny because, I mean, one of the things that, and I've talked about this before, one of the things that I've come to realize, I mean, I do a lot of business with Amazon just like everybody does, because there's stuff that that's where you get it, you know.
Yeah.
But on the same hand, it is what I've kind of switched over a period of time. There's an equipment dealer in New York called B&H Photo, and they have, I mean, they're kind of a premium production equipment. I mean, they handle everything. And so, but I can go on Amazon and get the same product in nearly the equal price. It might even be a little bit more. But what I've learned is that if I'm not supporting it with Amazon, I'm not supporting any local community, period. At least if I buy something from New York, I'm supporting that local community.
Correct.
You know?
Correct.
And so, and that's kind of an important concept to kind of get your head around. I mean, Amazon is convenient, but I mean, when you buy something from Amazon, the only thing that you're paying money for is that local delivery driver. And it's a minuscule amount. In other words, that money going back into the local economy.
Correct.
Yeah.
You know, and the funny thing is about that, sometimes Amazon's not always the cheapest deal.
Right. No.
You got to look around. You know, the funny thing, my favorite is people bring us tires brand new that they bought online. And,
Yeah.
and then,
I don't
of course,
know how does that work even?
well, the funny thing is with that, they don't get the service. You know,
Right.
when you buy a set of tires from us, you get service for the life of the tire.
Right.
You know, you get a flat tire, we fix that for free. You
Right.
want those tires rotated, we rotate
Right.
those for free. I've sit down with customers. By the end of it, they'll actually save money by buying tires from us versus buying them online because we take care of that tire.
Right. Because
You know, if they have to pay for rotations, they got to pay for flat repairs. They destroy a tire. I mean, there's a lot of things that go with that.
well, and if they bring you a tire, they've still got to pay for the mounting and the balancing.
Yep.
You know, and that, I mean, that's not cheap.
No.
By the time you add it times 4, you know, whereas if they buy a tire from you, all of that's
correct.
all of that's included.
Yep.
Yeah. So do they save any money?
No. No, they don't.
And yeah,
I mean, maybe there are some lower line tires. Yeah, you'll save money,
yeah,
but you also pay for what you get.
right. Yeah. And
quality-wise.
so I've never been able to kind of make that. I mean, clearly there are people that are selling tires online and they're doing it successfully, but like the mechanics of that, just you've got to take it to a tire shop and they've got to fix it the rest of the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But no, we're doing well.
Good.
We do really well, you know, and then the auto repair portion of it, I think right now we're 3 weeks out.
I know I
schedule.
drove by your lot the other day and it's like,
We cleaned it
Holy
out a little
smokes.
bit. There for a
Yeah,
while, I
it's
had
always full.
no parking. But- and everybody always tells me I need a bigger shop. I'm like, no, I don't. That's just more headache, and I don't want that.
yeah,
That's just more cars to move around.
Oh yeah. You know, our family's done very well in this community. I mean, my uncle started that back in 1965, and you know, we've been on that corner for a long time, and we're going to be on that corner for a long time.
yeah. And do you own the corner across the street too, or is that,
No, I don't.
Okay,
No, just ours.
just yours?
Yeah.
Okay. Is this your uncle? Who
My
owns-
uncle owns
yeah.
that over there.
Yeah.
Yes. He owns actually where the FedEx and the parking lot. That's his property.
See, I always thought. In fact, I even talked to him at one time. It's like that would be a perfect place for an espresso shop
It would.
because
Right around that corner.
there's nothing on that way out of town. You know, So and I think when I
That's
talk
another crazy one.
what
The coffee places.
yeah
You know, they're just booming. You know, the funny thing is you drive away in different areas, there's no coffee shops.
yeah
You know, you come through LeGrand, how many we have?
yeah
Six?
A lot.
A lot.
At least.
But there was a period of time when they were spotty. It's just taken time. You know, Sorbonauts has been there a long time.
That's another amazing local business.
It is. A lot of people have no idea that, you know, that's founded by the Stone Brothers.
Mhm.
That's Sorbonauts backwards. The Stone Brothers out of Baker City. And they still, I don't know how many stores they have now, but a
I'm
ton.
not sure on that one.
Yeah.
Then the other one is Antlers. That's another local.
Yeah.
They're all local except for Starbucks and Dutch Brothers. And
Correct.
Dutch
Yeah.
Brothers
Correct.
has a local owner.
Well, and
I
even
think he lives
Dutch Brothers
Yeah.
is owned by a local guy.
I think he lives in Hermiston.
Does he?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
No, it's good. I mean, then the other thing though is all those places employ, you know, citizens. So we
College kids, a lot of
Oh,
college
yeah.
athletes.
No, it's good.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's-
so where do you like to eat? We can throw some credit out there.
Yeah, all my favorite. Well, there is quite a few, but Mamacita's is a really good one.
It is. It's a good business.
That is amazing. I love their steak
Yeah.
with that white sauce.
Yeah.
the peppercorn.
Oh yes, yeah.
I can make a better steak at home, but it's all right. I mean, I'll say that about any steak place, like
But you don't have
I
to
don't
do
eat
it when you go
steaks in
there.
restaurants. Yeah, I
Really?
just don't. No, because I can get a good piece of meat from Heinz and cook it at home just as well.
Yeah.
And I'll say that all day.
You know, but
Most people can.
the nice thing is, yes, I can make it at home too. But it's nice, especially my wife enjoys this. Once in a great while, me and her will go and sit down and have dinner, and it's just nice being out there and get to see people that you know. And I mean, that's the whole part of going to a restaurant.
Right.
You know, everybody can make
Social
dinner at
aspect.
home, but the convenience of not having to cook, and plus you get to see people you don't see for a
I'm
while.
all about not having to do the dishes.
Well, and I heard that 10 Depot is maybe getting ready to open it back up.
That'd be
You hear
good.
Anything about that?
I haven't.
Yeah.
They've been open for the weekend. On the weekends, you can go and get food there.
Right, but I mean, even through COVID, they've done carry out, but they
Right.
haven't had people in. So that would be kind of cool. But no, it's kind of. I mean, I'm kind of seeing there's a lot of little businesses that are cropping up. I mean, it's just. I remember when I moved to La Grande 25 years ago, and I would ask, well, what's the main industry here? And they would talk about, well, you got the mills here and you got the trailer factories and stuff, but small business just drives a tremendous amount of.
Another
economy.
two big ones is the hospital and the college.
Right. Absolutely.
The hospital is doing I got to go up and sit down and watch a little bit of what they got going on up there.
Yeah.
And that's impressive.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen what's going to be after they're done, but we're going from 3 operating rooms of like a small size to it's going to be 7 altogether. 5
Right.
really good sized ones. There's ones actually, say someone gets in an accident, someone needs to be working on your leg, someone working on you. Right now they can't. I mean, they can, but they're in a really condensed area.
Yeah, and I've kind of been in on the front of that because I've helped them with their promotion of that and stuff. But yeah, that's
amazing.
That
thing
is a
once it's done.
humongous. That's going to be a huge asset.
It is huge.
Yeah.
And like I said, that is a big employer in our community as well. And they're good jobs.
Right.
And so we should be very thankful.
No, they're adding almost 100,000 square feet. They're not using all those floors right off, but
Correct.
it'll be. Yeah, and in fact, I was talking to Tracy Johnson, he's the foreman from Boughton up there, and I mean they're thinking that maybe by August they'll have the helistop put back up. Now I don't.
Really.
They'll have the helistop up. I think it's still many months before it's actually usable because they still have to connect the helistop to the operating. I mean, that's a ways out, but they're
moving along pretty good.
They are.
I mean, with what they're doing and what they had to do.
Yeah,
they're moving along really
well. Have you spent much time looking at that crane and that construction process up there?
Yeah, that's amazing.
It really is. And I'm
not scared of heights, but I don't think I want to be that guy.
Yeah, well, it's fun. I haven't talked to Kyle about this yet, but I talked to Tracy, and I think they're going to let us we're going to do a little interview. We're hoping to be able to do an interview with the crane operator.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
are you going to be Kyle going up in the crane?
Well,
I'm afraid of heights. No.
Yeah. Kyle, yeah. Kyle he's nervous one step up on the stage here.
When I got married at Wallowa Lake, the whole wedding party went up the tram except for me.
Really?
I stayed at the bottom.
That's funny.
Some people don't like heights.
I don't, man. I get out Cape Perpetua on the coast, you can walk out to the edge. I get about 10 feet from the edge and I start getting, no, not doing it.
Yeah. We all have our issues.
Yeah. It's not my thing.
Heights are not too big.
If I was supposed to be up there, I'd have wings. That's what I say. I'm supposed to be right here on the ground.
Well, I'm hoping, back to this crane operator, I'm hoping that I can get him to wear a GoPro on his head as he's slinging, as they're moving.
But it wouldn't be pointed down. He's not up there. It would be pointed up, right?
No, he's down. He's looking down.
He is?
Yeah,
I think they go all the way up.
He's
on that up to the top of the
on that tower. He's in that little cab that's right under the boom. So he's in a cab, and the boom goes over the top. And so it's a cool. It's all glass. He can look So he's looking all.
But is he? He's not up on the actual crane.
Yeah.
Not on the arm.
No,
No.
right. Okay, so the crane comes up and there's the arm that does. The cab is right here.
Oh, so he's like looking out
Well,
at the arm.
Right. Yeah. He looks straight out at the arm, but mostly what he's looking at is where that load is
Yeah.
is
okay,
up and down.
gotcha.
So, but
he ain't out there on the arm like operating it.
No.
no, but it is
Hell
it is
no.
interesting. There was a fire not too long ago in one of the cities, San Francisco, I think is where it was, or something. It was a construction fire, and the fire started before the crane operator could get. It was the same type of situation before he could get off the crane, and so the firefighters. I mean, that was a big thing, as they had to pour water on that area so that he could get down the ladder. And
Oh, geez.
yeah, kind of scary. But anyhow, I'm hoping that we can get him to wear a GoPro and get some of the footage of him operating and doing the stuff, and then shoot some stuff from below so that we can, I don't know, just be very
That'd be neat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not something
what
we all
a
see
fun
every day.
job that would, just an interesting
Oh, yeah.
job that would be. Yeah. So, well, Justin, thanks.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me out here. Thank
so
you
much.
both.
We've been trying to connect for a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes I'm not the easiest person.
Well, but you have a good excuse.
No, there's no excuse.
you just have been busy, man.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I think when we first started talking, it was like when tires were coming off.
that
Yeah.
drug out so long this year.
Yeah. Did it?
Oh,
It's like-
yeah, because
it was horrid.
There was snow all the way into May.
Yeah. I know. Usually it takes a couple weeks and we're done. And it drug out over a month. I'm like, can it just be done finally?
Yeah. That's
I like schedules. And the problem is when you have that, it's just chaotic.
Well,
you
and
do everything you can.
well, and in your business, it makes it a lot easier to function. I mean, it's
Well.
like get tires out of the way so that we can
We can just go back to fixing cars.
concentrate on something else.
Yeah.
Yep. All righty. Well, Kyle, you want to get us out of
Let's
here?
go. This is going to be a quick one. On this day, 1824, the washing machine was patented by Noah Cushing of Quebec.
1824.
Yeah, and then we go all the way to 1984 because it was all. I don't want to talk about political stuff.
Okay.
So I just jumped to 84. Ghostbusters, starring Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd, premiered on this day, 1984.
That's a good one.
84.
And then 2020 on this day, former astronaut Kathy Sullivan is the first woman to reach the deepest point of the ocean in the Marianas Trench. She used to be the first American woman to spacewalk. So she's done she's been to the space and she's been to the depths. Marianas Trench is like 30,000 plus feet below sea level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about.
It's 30. It's more than Mount Everest
I think
below.
it's 7 miles. So I mean,
30,000 plus feet.
right.
I just watched a thing on it yesterday.
No, I know, but I mean, right. Miles helps people understand it. I mean, and it's
More
still-
than Mount Everest. That'll help you understand. Mount Everest is way up there.
yeah.
Tip that thing upside down, drop it in the water.
But you know what's funny? I mean, what I think is interesting about that is that it is, if you're at the bottom of a trench like that, you just as well be on the moon. I mean, it is more, there is no rescuing someone when something like that goes bad. I mean, it's
It's pitch
like on
black.
there on another planet.
Pitch
Yeah.
black down there
Yeah.
too. Number one movie on this day in 1993. Jurassic Park. What a big movie.
Yeah.
Quote for the day, Albert Einstein. The only source of knowledge is experience. One more time. Only source of knowledge is experience. That's it.
All right. Good stuff. Thank you, Eastern Oregon. Thanks, man, for being with us.
Go
Yeah.
Appreciate
CJB
you guys
and the
having us.
boys.
Yeah. Watch for the Eastern Oregon Livestock Parade tomorrow afternoon at 2:00. And we'll see you soon.